Alright class, you know the drill. Turn in your assignments, cause I hope you did it. Oh, I did not do that homework last night. Alright, before we begin class, we have a new student. So while he's introducing himself, I need your undivided attention. Alright, you can come up. Hey guys, I'm Chris and I'm coming up from Ohio and yeah, that's kinda... Oh no, this kid's about to be made fun of. Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about the time that I was a new kid. Now, I'm no stranger when it comes to being the new kid, and I've actually been the new kid twice in my primary and secondary education, and I found both of these new kid situations to be very beneficial for me. Today we're only going to be focusing on the first time that I was a new kid. Now, I understand some of you might not like being a new kid, especially if you already have an established friend circle or very popular in school. That I understand. However, if you had no friends and it already tainted your reputation because you were very weird and therefore bullied relentlessly, I tell you otherwise. Now, to give you a very long story short, I was a weird kid, and to put it nicely, the kids that I was surrounded with did not like weird kids. This caused me to be bullied relentlessly while I was in elementary and middle school. Now, with the backstory out of the way, let's continue. Now, I'm in the middle of the moving process, and I hadn't quite finished 7th grade before moving away, so if I didn't want to be held back the grade, I would definitely need to finish 7th. So while my living situation was figured out, I was placed in a temporary middle school. Now let's fast forward a couple of days after enrollment. I was told that my first day of school was going to be accompanied by one of the school counselors and to listen to the school counselor while she gave me my orientation. Now let's fast forward to orientation day. I'm barely arriving at the middle school and I'm already impressed because this school is just absolutely massive. We're at the right place? Now, to help you better picture the scale of the school, the previous school I went to was your typical small town middle school. So, itty bitty school, pretty forested, and heavily underfunded. So imagine going from that to a major city middle school that served way more kids than I was used to. And not only that, but the school was just also physically larger than any school I've ever been to. So anyways, I was dropped off in the middle school, I headed to the counselor's office, and she gave me my schedule. Hey, since you came in so late, you had completely missed first period, and some other kids are gonna have to help you get there. You have any other questions? No, I don't think so. Can we get started with the orientation? So while my counselor was giving me my orientation, I truly got to see the marvel that this middle school truly was. Bigger hallways, nicer decorations, and oh my gosh, are those stairs? Yes, they are. You have a second floor. Yes, we do, but don't get your hopes up yet. You're not going up there. Okay, well, are any of my classes upstairs? You have elevators? Yes, we do, and your classroom is right next to it. Now, I'm gonna come and get you when your class is over so I can take you to your next class, so enjoy. Wait, what? Alright everyone, we have a new student who's about to introduce ourselves, so I need y'all to stay quiet. Hi everyone, I'm Michael. Alright, you can go ahead and take your seat anywhere. I'll assign you a new seat later. We have assigned seating in this class. Well, I can already tell I'm gonna hate this one. Hey, so why is it so dark in here? I don't know. I think the teacher just likes it this way. Kinda weird, don't you think? Oh my, what is that sound? What sound? From outside, it sounds like someone's on fire. Why don't you go look outside? So yeah, we kinda teach next to SeaWorld. Don't worry though, you can eventually learn to drown out the sound. Yeah, okay, what detail to leave out? Did you not see the giant roller coaster on the way in? No? Yeah, okay, you definitely need to learn to pay attention. Now, are you ready to eat lunch? Is that a stage? Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the middle school cafeteria has a stage. We occasionally use it to give big announcements or performances, however, it mostly just sits unused. Now guys, while this school is very impressive in all of its feats, I am still not done telling all that there is to see. However, I do need to go over this. The whole reason why I went to the school was to start afresh and make my reputation a whole lot better. However, what I told my peers in the cafeteria completely shattered any chances of me improving my reputation. So you know how Alabama has its horrible meme stigma attached to the state? If you don't know, look it up, but otherwise you would think that I would never dare mention my origins. However, do you think that sheltered 7th grade me knew that? No. But I bet you damn near the whole school knew about the memes. So when I proceeded to tell an entire lunch table of 7th grade boys about where I came from, I kid you not, the first thing that came out of their mouths were, "So did you marry your sisters? Yo, do you date your cousins? Do you date your sisters? Did you marry your cousins?" I was shocked when they said this. I didn't even get to tell them if I had siblings or not. I of course told them no, but I also had to ask why they thought that of me. Is that not something people like you do over there? No? Who in their right mind would do something like that? It took me 2 more years before I found out about the memes, then the whole scene started to make sense. So moving along from the cafeteria incident, I got to experience a classic 7th grade boys gym class.
Whoa, 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 hey, 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 hey!
So, I'm going to save you guys the horrors from graphic imagery, but how do I say this? Let's just say in the boys' changing room, there is absolutely no expectation of privacy. What exactly did you see? Oh, horrid things that must never be said by the lips of man. So horrible. Anyways, after the gym incident, I finally got to go upstairs. And all I have to say is, thank the Lord Jesus for glass. When you go upstairs, you are greeted to a glass view of the downtown area, and it is one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. To see the entire view of the city skyline from such a great distance is honestly one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. And I got to experience this for the next 2 months. Anyways, after orientation day, I finally got to go home, quotation marks, because I didn't have a place yet. But all the less the place we stayed at was by all means a very nice place to live in. Now, I would say that the school was a great place to go to, but I have one big problem. Remember when I told you about where I used to live? Yeah, those kids decided to tell the entire school. So now everybody knows where I came from, and everybody decided to bully me for it. In fact, I was so popular that the entire school nicknamed me Alabama Boy. I had complained to several staff members about this, but because there were so many kids teasing me over this, there really wasn't anything they could do but warn kids against bullying. I didn't bother telling my parents about this because it wasn't like we were staying at the school anyways. I didn't have a permanent home yet, so it was likely that we were never going to see the same school again. So all I could really do was toughen it out and wait the 2 months before the school season was over. And my gosh, did those 2 months feel like an eternity, but when I finally left that school, you best believe I never looked back. So essentially, long story short, I completely failed my mission. I had completely managed to bomb my reputation before I even got a chance to start it. But hey, if nothing else, I was happy at least knowing that I never had to go back to that school again, which means I get a second chance to improve my reputation. And man, did I blow that one too, but that's a video all on its own. And with nothing else, that's my experience of being a new kid the first time. But with nothing else, if you like this video, please remember to come back in like a month or two. But anyways, bye.